Hey everybody. So in this video, I want to do a review of the DC Multiverse Batman Beyond versus Justice Lord Superman from McFarlane Toys. So this one has a little bit of an interesting backstory. I actually saw this one at my local Target, I guess a few days ago, and I was really considering picking it up. And then I just thought, I don't really need this. It's just one of those kind of repaint, one-off kind of things, and put it back on the shelf. And then later on, I kind of regretted it. I was like, it is kind of a cool version of Superman, and it's a pretty neat version of Batman Beyond too, especially with the wings and the green and black. So then went back to the same Target. I was looking around. I was actually looking for the new Captain Carrot and long-haired Superman figure. Did not find those, but this was actually sitting in one of the other aisles. I think it was actually sitting next to one of the price scanners. So somebody had scanned the price, and I guess they decided they didn't want it, and they just kind of put it right there in that aisle. So it was not with the DC figures. It wasn't over with the NECA figures where you would think it would be. It was just kind of sitting there. And I was like, all right, maybe this is a sign that I should get this. So I got it. And it looks really cool. Now, I am not familiar with this storyline. So if you look at the side, it does say Batman Beyond versus Justice Lord Superman, and it says Batman Beyond 2.0. So I'm assuming this is from a recent comic book story arc that I am not familiar with, because I'm not familiar with this Batman Beyond suit. It looks really, really cool, though. And of course, I am familiar with Justice Lord Superman, but there is also a version of Superman from the Batman Beyond universe. And it is just the regular, Kal-El Superman in a very similar suit as this. So I feel as though you could really use this Superman as Superman Beyond. There's very, very slight differences between the Superman Beyond and the Justice Lord Superman. I'm pretty sure that Superman Beyond does not have a cape. So I suppose if you wanted to, you could remove the cape altogether and just have this Superman figure without the cape, and that could be your Superman Beyond, which is basically the Superman of the future in the Batman Beyond universe. Or you could just keep it as the Justice Lord Superman, which is basically an evil alternate universe version of Superman. So here's the back. Now you can see on the back, it's just the regular Batman Beyond suit. And then, this, looks pretty evil. At least, the face sculpt looks pretty evil. So again, I am assuming this is the Justice Lord Superman, which again is basically an evil version of Superman. It's not Ultraman, but it is an evil Superman, basically, from another, alternate timeline from the animated universe. Now, I bring up Ultraman because I also bought this today at the same Target. Now, I have been seeing this for a long time. I'm sure many of you who, shop for toys and collect DC Multiverse, I'm sure you've been seeing this all over Target stores, just like I have. I've been avoiding getting this, and I'll tell you why I got it. We all know that this is the goofiest Superman head sculpt they probably ever could have done. But, the Target that I got this pack from today, they had probably 5 of these. And I thought to myself a couple things. First, if this 2-pack was street dated, and I went to buy it, and if they did not let me buy it because it was street dated, I was going to be mad. So I thought to myself, I could bring this one and scan this one instead, and then buy this one. But then they also have a thing going where if you spend $50, you get $10 back. And I thought, all right, well, if I buy both of them because they're $40 each, then I'll get $10 off. Then when I checked my Target app, there's another thing on my app that says if I make 3 purchases of $60 or more, then I will get $20, I guess like $20 gift card or like $20 in rewards. So I'm like, all right, if I buy both of these, not only am I going to save $10 right away, but that will also put me for getting another $20 in rewards. So I just bought both because I figured, you know what? I can just use these figures for parts. Definitely have a plan here because I think what I'm going to do with this Superman is I'm going to take the trunks off of the battle damaged Superman from the Doomsday 2-pack. You can see I've already taken off the head and one of the hands, so I'm kind of taking this guy apart for parts. I'm probably going to take the trunks off of this one, put it onto that one, so I can have a classic Superman with that, you know, kind of triangular plain cape. The head sculpt, I still got to figure out. So we're going to see about that. This is a pretty cool Ultraman figure. I'm not sure the differences between this one and the original one that came with the Starro piece. So we're going to do that as well. We're going to do comparisons and we're going to see kind of what the differences are in these figures as well. So that's the plan. We're going to see if it was a good deal getting this, which I think it was, because ultimately I saved 10 and I'm going to get another 20. But this is really the 2-pack that I want to check out because I think that both of these look really, really cool. So let's get all of these figures out of the packaging and see what they're all about. Sorry, everybody. I realized that I forgot to show the barcode, and I know a lot of people like to look at the barcode in order to look up the figures. So there is the barcode for the Batman Beyond versus Justice Lord Superman, if you needed to look that up for any reason. Here is the other information there. So there was the barcode for this set. And then for some crazy reason, if you need the barcode for this set, I'm sure you've all seen, you know, tons of these. But here is the barcode for the Superman versus Ultraman set. So there are your barcodes. All right, so now we've got the Superman and Batman Beyond out of the box, and I will say that pretty much as expected. So these are repaints of figures that we've had in the past. So really no new stuff in terms of the articulation or anything like that. Before we jump into the figures and the comparisons, we can just go through the extra stuff that they come with. So first we get these kind of, you know, reaching out to grab you kind of expression hands, which I feel like the first time we got these was with the Bizarro figure, but I could be wrong about that. So yeah, so alternate hands for the Superman. We do have alternate hands for the Batman as well. So these are also kind of like open, kind of expressive hands. The Superman has fists and the Batman has gripping hands for the Batarangs. So we do get 2 Batarangs as well. They're the same Batarangs. Of course, we also get stands. So the usual kind of black-brown stands. We get this base for the figures, which is actually pretty cool. It just takes up a lot of room, and I just don't know kind of what you would do with it. But it is pretty neat, has some sharp edges, that's for sure. Here is the card that comes with the Batman Beyond figure. If you want to pause and read the story about Terry McGinnis. And then the card that comes with the Superman figure. There you go. And again, it does look like that this is the Justice Lord Superman, not the Superman Beyond. So like I said before, I'm not familiar with this exact storyline, but of course, you know, the Batman Beyond cartoon is in the same universe as the Justice League cartoon and the Batman and Superman animated series, which of course the Justice Lords came from the Justice League cartoon, so it all does kind of make sense. So now, as far as the figures go, I do like the paint and the detail on the Batman Beyond figure. The wings are really cool, and they do, you know, articulate, so you can kind of make them go up and down. So, you know, you can kind of pose them kind of going down and up, but that's about it. They don't articulate up here. I think they look cooler kind of up. A flight stand would have been nice, at least one flight stand that you could use for either or, but you know, you can always just use a different one. You know, the old ankles are pretty unsightly. So of course, you know, these are the really old kind of ball ankle joints. The wrists are the newer wrists, it looks like, so that's good at least. But yeah, articulation is, you know, what we've come to get used to. So, you know, you can get them into some really nice, you know, kind of flying poses. You know, great articulation. It's just the ankles are pretty unsightly. And it can be difficult to get these guys to stand. But, you know, once you do kind of get them in place, they do look pretty good. But yeah, the ankles and the thin feet really do make them difficult to stand. Now, as far as the Superman figure goes, I really, really don't like the cape. And I had a lot of trouble getting him to stand because of the cape. I feel like the cape weighs him down and kind of gets in the way. So the more and more I think about it, I think I am going to probably remove this cape. I don't know if I'm going to try to get like a cloth cape or if I'm just going to kind of have him just not have a cape at all, because, you know, the Superman that is from the Batman Beyond universe didn't have a cape. So that could actually work. Just kind of remove the cape altogether and then just have him not have a cape. And it just, you know, wouldn't really be the Justice Lord Superman. So I'm not sure. You can still see the sculpting from the boots. They just kind of painted over it, which is just kind of the usual McFarlane thing. But it is really hard to get this guy to stand. Like, I had to just keep leaning him against the back here, because if you try to make him go forward, the cape just, you know, pulls him back. I can't remember if I had the same problem, because this is the cape from the Eradicator, and it's kind of in between. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light. It is, you know, kind of like the rubbery material, but it is, you know, a little heavy, and it's just, I feel like, is what is weighing him back. The Eradicator figure I have on a flight stand, so I can't remember if I had that same problem. So yeah, I just have to keep leaning him backwards. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool 2-pack, but it does kind of have its issues, but they look neat, you know, for sure. Now, as far as the other 2-pack, sort of interesting, I guess. So here is the really happy Superman, and here is the Ultraman. Okay. You know, of course, they're saying Earth 3 Superman, but we all know it's Ultraman. He even has the U. And they're okay. They do come with the Atomica, and you can't really see her, so let me move these guys a little bit more out of the way. So she will not stand up on her own. You definitely have to put her on a flight stand, so that's what I did. But you know, it's a nice little kind of add-on accessory there. I mean, you know, you can't articulate the figure, you can't really do anything with her, but you know, she does kind of at least, you know, have some purpose. And then of course, here's another stand. So they also came with one of these huge but very detailed bases. Again, I don't know what to do with this. It takes up a lot of space. It's, it's kind of cool. I mean, you can see it's like the remains of the Daily Planet. And I mean, it's really neat. I just don't really use these. Like, it's just not, it's just not something I would use, but it's pretty cool. We do get lots of hands with this pack, which is kind of nice. So you get fists. Well, you get one fist because, they have other fists. You get like flying hand. Let's see what else is in here. You get like the grabby hand again. You get a pointing hand, which is nice. It's always nice to get a pointing hand. Another flying hand. And kind of like a splayed out hand. So the hands are nice because we don't often get extra hands. And, you can kind of swap out and kind of, do what you want with the hands. So the first comparison I wanted to do is with the Happy Superman and the Hush Superman. So I know a lot of people were not a fan of the Hush Superman because of the skin tone. And I can sort of kind of agree, although, in person, it's not as bad as I thought. I mean, yes, he is definitely on the pale side, and I would prefer him to have more of a flesh tone like the Happy Superman here. And I do have an alternate head that I was going to paint, but then I just kind of left it alone. Now, the Hush Superman, as you can see, does have a brighter red and a brighter blue. So honestly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because we do have the, that new Superman that got announced that's supposed to be the quote-unquote classic Superman. But the belt is wrong with that one, and I just don't know if I'm going to like the sculpt. Like I said before, I am going to maybe put the trunks of these onto this one, and I just don't know about the head sculpt. It's not as bad. Like, I feel like this head sculpt could maybe sort of kind of grow on me. But at the same time, it is kind of goofy. So I just don't know. Like, I feel like the Hush Superman is really good. He is a little pale, and the expression I feel like is a little bit more of an animated, like an animated series, like Justice League cartoon kind of look. But the Hush Superman does have the S on the back, which is awesome. And I'm pretty sure that newer Superman that just got announced does not have the S. And of course, this one doesn't either. So, yeah. I don't know, but I've definitely got some parts here to figure out what I'm doing with them, and not sure. And the other thing that I forgot to show with my review of the Batman Beyond and the Justice Lord Superman is we got this in the package, which was very unexpected. So we get like this background thing that you can use, which is kind of interesting because that was one of my complaints before about if you wanted to use the background that comes with the figures, you can't because you end up ripping it when you take the stands out and the cards. So I guess that somebody at McFarlane Toys was listening, because you could, you get this on one side, right, which is what's on the cards, but you get this on the other side, and if you really wanted to, I guess you could use that as a display for one of the figures. So we do get that. Forgot to mention that when I was reviewing those. All right, so now back to the other 2-pack. Here is the newer Ultraman, which you got to get him just right to get him to stand. And then here is the old Ultraman, and you can see they are the exact same figure, just different head sculpt. Now, this one that came with the Starro Build-A-Figure piece, that is an alternate head. So I actually swapped out the head that this one came with the head from the Red Sun Superman, and then I painted the eyes red. So this is actually more of a custom version, okay, but I like this better. So the new version of Ultraman, of course, has the alternate head, and the blue is a little darker. And that's it. I mean, the cape is exactly the same. All the sculpting, the trunks, the U symbol, everything else is exactly the same. So you're essentially just getting a little bit darker of a blue and a different head sculpt, and then all those hands. And then, of course, you also get the Atomica, you know. So, you know, if I didn't save the money that I saved on this 2-pack, and if I didn't make the purchase towards, you know, kind of getting that money back, it would not really be worth it. I think that the Batman Beyond and the Justice Lord Superman is pretty cool. I think that's worth the $40. But, you know, the Happy Superman and Ultraman 2-pack, probably not worth the $40. But again, since I did save the $10 and then I'll be getting the $20 from making that purchase, to me it's worth it because I will be able to use these parts and pieces for other things, and it just kind of is what it is at this point. But yeah, let me know what you think of all these figures. And, you know, are you a wacky Superman collector like me and pretty much can't resist any version of the character? Because that's pretty much what I do. But thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe, and have a good one.